You're starting off early with the pity.
Yeah, Byron does this thing lately where on the podcast, if he fake gets his feelings hurt, he starts to pout and kind of shuts and he sulks and he shuts down. But the thing is that's what he just does in normal life too. When he gets when he gets upset,
Fake?
he shuts down.
When he gets fake upset? No, I never get fake upset.
No, it's 100% fake because you snap out of it. In real life, you just don't snap out.
No, I snap out of it because I'm stoic. I'm a stoic man.
Yeah. See already how defensive he's getting? He's getting really angry right now.
Marcus Aurelius.
You're not Marcus Aurelius.
I am. Reborn.
Sulking like a
Retard.
true stoic.
Like retard.
No.
Who's your favorite stoic?
Marcus Aurelius.
Name another stoic.
Stowy.
Stowy. Epictetus.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch. You're like, oh, you don't know your stoic shit. I fucking read a book. A book.
Yeah, okay.
That was a very stoic response.
All right.
Okay, we don't need to freaking critique me.
Yeah, no, we could take that as we can take epic dick kiss as an answer. That's totally fine. It is a stoic act to have an epic dick kiss.
And not care about it.
Yeah.
Just be cool.
Be cool about your dick kisses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only have an epic dick kiss.
You can have a weak one too.
You're right. And what would that look like or sound like?
A little warm up. Just a little bit of a warm up.
You almost look like a question. It's like a kiss that was a question.
I mean, you're not sure about it.
Folks, we're joined here today by our friend Kelsey. We're also joined here by our friend Byron that you guys know very well. But Kelsey, this is your first time on the podcast. Now, have you watched any clips or do you know what this is?
I know.
Do you know where you are?
Do you know what's about to happen to you after this goes on the internet?
Do you know what year it is?
2024. It is going to be working crass. So we're
That's
going
right.
to be talking about things that people don't want to talk about, but we're going to get real. I've seen several podcasts, especially how Muslim is the true faith. I remember that one.
We got, just by the way, we got a lot of followers from that one, and they're all Muslim, and they don't like when we critique the Muslim faith. So just FYI, with this podcast, we try to avoid the Muslim stuff.
They like me.
They do like you.
They like me.
They do like you.
And I like you.
Yeah. Aw, that's cute.
Hey,
That's nice.
Jesus loves me this side, and he loves you too. Muslims. Now they don't like
Yeah,
me.
now they don't like you.
Yeah.
Infidel.
You're losing them.
Yeah, let's turn them down.
But yeah, I've seen a few episodes.
Okay, that's great. Good,
Yeah.
good. So you know, we do hate speech on this, and then we no, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Part 1 is hate speech. Part 2 is anti-fat stuff, and then part.
Yeah, we shit on women. We
We try to cover all the bases, you know.
Well, cool. Now that you've been introduced to what this is, we don't know what this is. And I've said this so many times. I don't mean anything I say on this podcast. I'm just trying to be goofy, okay? And then, but what we say is actually what we mean.
Correct.
And then,
Be
and
honest
just,
and
yeah.
true, and then lie and say deny.
It was a
deny.
joke, and yes,
Correct,
exactly.
correct.
Okay, I think you're gonna be really good at this.
I do like defecating on women.
Well, welcome, Kelsey, to the Working Crass Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We have plenty of things to talk about, so I'll go ahead and start pulling up some stories here. Before we, did anything interesting happen to either of you this week, or anything worth talking about?
I saw a goose.
Okay, a couple
I did.
boring.
I saw a goose, a big old goose, landed on the roof.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
they're
roof.
mean as hell, dude.
On the roof, where?
Don't trust a goose.
On the roof, where?
Dude, geese are not to be trusted, man.
That's not my question.
They do have
Hey.
sharp teeth, though. He's right on that.
They walked up to the door, pecked the door, and they land on the roof.
What the fuck are you talking? Wait.
It's a goose.
I understand. What roof?
Do you think geese can't fly?
What roof?
You
Answer
think
the
geese
question.
He thinks geese can't fly over here.
This is the worst episode of the podcast so
Yeah.
far. The man can't answer a single fucking question. What roof was this goose on?
A roof.
A roof? Where were you where you saw the goose? You go, I saw a goose. He was on the roof. On the roof of this building?
No.
How'd you see him?
No, not on this
What
building.
roof? And he said he knocked the door?
It was on the
He
roof.
pecks the door.
Pecked what door? Where were you? Were
The
you
door.
At work?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was on the roof of the caboose.
It was
That's
at
where-
work. It was at work. The goose. We have a lot of geese over there.
Oh, it doesn't matter where it was. The audience stopped listening a long time ago. They go, he's not answering this fucking question.
Well, if you asked politely instead of yell at me about it, I would have answered it politely and accurately.
Our Muslim audience would highly disagree. They want answers and they want them now.
Yeah, that sounds true. That's a faith about learning and growing.
400
Hey.
comments. Where the hell is the roof?
Yeah, where's the roof?
It's on fire.
They know a lot about roofs in Islam.
Our Muslim audience is going, time's running out. TikTok, if you know what I mean. Answer the question. Speaking of religion, our first story today is welcome to Improv Church, where God gets funny. So the reason that we know Byron and Kelsey is through improv. We met doing improv in Dallas, and we also do improv here in Chicago. The worst art form of all of the art forms, the golf of comedy. No, I'm just joking.
Golf's cool, dude. I don't know what you're
Golf
talking
is
about.
gay. Anyway.
That's true. Why do you think Tiger Woods cheated on his wife?
Now, because we have folks here that go to do improv and also go to church, I wanted to see if this was like a legitimate business idea for a church. I guess basically this church does improv shows. So far, I don't have a problem with it. That kind of sounds cool. Although I would like to be in the audience when they're like, suggestions, please. And I'm like, crucifix. Like, and have them be like, no, let's not do that one.
Leviticus.
I like the book of Joshua. It's all about slaughter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of slaughter in that one.
Yeah. They still study it in West Point.
Or they give you a Bible verse as a suggestion, but they're just like Exodus 3:17.
Yeah.
And
You
then
have to know it.
you have to know it.
You have to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
They're like, I want to see that as an improv scene and go.
It's like a Bible quiz as well.
It's
Kinda like
just a
that.
Bible quiz.
The descendants of Moses were Akabalachela and Meheladek.
The book of Joshua. I want to know. I talked to when I was doing customer service, this guy on the phone that I talked to. He goes, Joshua. Now, you've read the book of Joshua, right?
Have
And
you
I
not
go,
read it?
No, I haven't read the
We're
Bible.
both named after it. That's my middle name.
I know. I understand that. And I know I'm named after it. But I'm not going to read the book I'm named
Dude,
after.
this book is great.
I don't want to be told what I am. I want to discover what I am.
No, don't discover. Read.
To be fair, this guy told me it's the best book in the Bible. You have to read where your name comes from. You have to read the book of Joshua. Mm-hmm. So you guys are telling me it's about murder?
It's about slaughter. It's
about
about
slaughter?
Joshua going on and killing like everyone.
Hey, I like it so far.
It's dope because it's right after Moses, because it's when he becomes the leader of moving everything, and in the book there are people sleeping with other people that are not of the tribe, and fucking Joshua just murders the Jew man and I think it's a Hittite woman in one go, and God's like, yes, this is a man I love. And then when Moses and the other people are like, the Jews are rebelling against everything, he's like, we have to show faith. He's like, I have to show people, please God, make this rock sprout water. It's like, I have to show the belief. Joshua just says, God says jump, he starts swinging at people. Like, it's pure fucking faith.
So I'm kind of like the Rambo of the Bible.
Correct.
I'm
Yeah.
like going through the jungle, like, I don't know, everyone different.
Correct. It's like God says something, you don't even ask questions, you just do as much as you can and hope it's good enough, and that's why God loved Joshua.
Damn.
You shoot first, ask if they're gay later.
If they were straight, they would have got out of the way.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to, maybe one of our episodes will be just me sitting down reading the book of Joshua. I think that would be great.
There's a lot of, like Kelsey was saying, they like study it in West Point, and that is true. Like, there's a lot of military conquest in Joshua.
That's awesome. That must be why I'm like so like fucking strong and like badass.
Yeah, I think you're not living up to your name, if I'm being real.
Okay, well, I'll make sure to smite you first, Jew.
The Muslims are back on board.
The Reverend Katie Phillips, lead pastor of Vine Church, greets attendees at Improv Church in Dunn, Virginia on Saturday. So this is Vine Church. So this is like they started this church when Vine was big. They started by doing church vines.
It's like only 2-minute sections.
And they're like, you know what? This isn't really selling. Let's start doing improv shows. Vine went down. They're like, well, okay, it's either TikTok church or improv church. Which one are we doing? On stage, a real estate agent gestures at an imaginary home for sale. So, this is the place, she tells a woman who has followed her inside. You could do a lot with it. The prospective buyer checks a sink's water pressure, finding everything satisfactory. Then she pivots and she points at a spot on the floor. Does the snake pit convey? She asks. The audience, clustered around circular tables under string lights, bursts into laughter. Improv at a church is just as bad as improv at an improv club.
Does the snake pit convey? What does that mean?
That's a great question.
I don't get what.
Maybe they're Pentecostal?
Like conveyor?
Does the snake pit convey?
Is that a typo?
Maybe.
Oh, it's weird.
No, it's not a typo. That's good improv. That's
this
what's
sounds pretty
considered
bad.
really good improv right now.
I just don't.
No, that's hard to understand.
One character turns to the other character and goes, "It's giving snake pit."
I
And the
think-
crowd goes,
The crowd goes wild.
I think improv is definitely better transcribed on paper.
I'd rather read a book. Next time you think about starting an improv troupe, just do the improv, write it all down, and publish it as a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine would be like, "Don't touch my rock! Don't touch my rock! Don't touch my rock!"
So it's just you on stage by yourself? It's a one-man.
Well, I'm
one-man
writing the
improv show?
book. I'm writing the book.
Okay.
You literally, your book looks like the Shining, Jack Torrance's fucking all work
His
and no play
screenplay.
makes Jack a dull boy over and over and over, but it's don't touch my rock, don't touch my rock, don't touch my rock.
Couldn't read it. It'd be in my conlang.
Okay.
Keeping you guys in the dark. 'Cause you're gonna make fun of me for whatever my improv writings are.
I'm sorry. No, I think don't touch my rock over and over is
That's a
good.
bestseller. That's a bestseller.
The audience cluster around circular tables under string lights bursts into laughter. I doubt it. The performers are putting on an improv show, complete with a cover charge, refreshments, and an introductory monologue. But the venue isn't a comedy club or a bar. It's a church.
It's better.
It's a church.
They needed like the record scratch, but the venue isn't a comedy club or a bar. It's a church.
I hope the pastor sounds just like that. Hey guys, let me tell you about Jesus.
It is it.
Then you got to cue the music and the wacky montage.
Benny Hill.
Now this church is gonna get a little funny.
This pastor gets flipped upside down.
Can I get a suggestion, please?
Crucifix.
Sin.
9/11.
Exodus 9:11 says.
Since February 2023, Vine Church in Dunn, Virginia has hosted Improv Church as a way to get new members through the doors. The event on the last Saturday of every month brings in professional actors to do improvisational comedy based on a concept, anecdote, or word from the evening's sermon. While the scenes are inspired by the sermon, they aren't explicitly religious, and the actors are given free rein to riff.
But not cuss.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't
Absolutely
be given
no
full
cussing.
free rein
It
to
doesn't
riff.
say that.
It doesn't say that.
No.
So you are at a fucking church after a sermon, and you're
Dropping
like,
F-bombs.
shit, my dick is about to blow. I gotta come. Like, hey, can I get a suggestion? And they're like, Jesus saves. And you're like, I've been saving this cum in my balls. And they're about to blow. I'm going to need a hold the fuck. And the crowd goes, "Wah!"
He has Jizzen.
He has Jizzen. That is so funny.
That's
That's the improv troupe name. What's up? We are. He has Jizzen.
No, it's like, what's up? We are. He has Jizzen.
Instead of a cross, it's just a penis with the part that goes extra inside the body and the balls inside.
Oh my God. The Reverend Katie Phillips, Vine's lead pastor, knows what she's doing is unconventional. That's the point. It's for the folks who are never going to come Sunday morning, for whom it's so countercultural that no matter how great our band is or our advertising is, they're just never going to walk in.
How good is their advertising?
Yeah, I know. I wonder.
Well, they got in the Washington Post.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it says democracy dies in darkness.
Yeah, I know. More like comedy dies in darkness. Am I right?
Yeah.
You know, I just want to talk about how racist the Washington Post is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They just don't show enough whites. It makes me sick. No, so here's the thing though. Okay, so they're trying to get people who are never going to come to church to come to church. And if I have to think of the demographic of people who never want to go to church, I think improv group is probably pretty good. It's going to get you the people that don't go to church.
That's pretty high on the list.
Yeah.
Maybe, perhaps. Just saying.
I mean, so I don't know.
Put it on a college campus. Put it next to the activist coffee shop.
Yeah. I just feel like it's not. I don't think it's gonna really work very well, but I do commend them on like making an effort. But it's just kind of like the thing about improv is like it's works best when you are very like free and uncensored. And I've actually done improv at a church before. Yeah, and it's a weird experience. Yeah, and it's like when you feel like you have to kind of. If you're doing this at a church, like there's this part of you that's going to be you're filtering stuff through. Yeah. And that's really not a good thing in improv, at least from like my style of performing improv. So I don't think it would work very well, or I don't think it would be very funny.
Maybe you're just not strong enough in your faith.
I don't know about that. I think that part's fine, but it's just like.
Is it? Because if you were strong enough in your faith, you could do improv.
Well, okay, sure, fine. Maybe
no,
you're right.
It's not strong enough in his faith. It's strong enough in his trust that the people around in the church aren't going to judge him for the choices he makes on the stage.
Oh, so
that they aren't going to touch his rock.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually a scenic thing, you know? I get very in my head because I'm like, I don't really want them to touch my rock. It's mine.
But no, you're right. That's bad for creativity in general to be self-conscious. The big thing about all the studies about creativity and how our mind becomes creative is that it has to be free from self-consciousness and self-doubt, because that is the death of creativity. You're not able to think unconsciously and be in the moment if you're thinking like, what are they going to think of me if I do this? And what are they going to think of me when I do that? And church, unfortunately, often is a place where you feel like you might get judged for your decisions and your actions a lot easier than other places.
But wouldn't that be the performer's issue to deal with, not the church in particular? I mean, they're thinking people are going to judge them, so the issue therefore lies within them. Fair.
But until they do the show and then someone comes up to them and they go, you really shouldn't be making that move, then it's on the church.
Then you can say, I was following the Holy Spirit.
That's true.
You can lie just as easily in a church.
The Holy Spirit came into me and he said, this scene really needs me to drain my nuts as a character.
You know, I will say though, the more I think about this, the more
like
I'm
a
kind
roast
of like,
comic being like, God came to me and he told me to hump the stool.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
No, I kind of think that maybe this isn't like such a bad idea, because I was thinking like one of my like arguments against it was being like, well, I think it's probably better to like just be in the scene and be, outwardly religious. But like I've done that for years now and haven't really had any success with people. In fact, it's like been ostracizing sometimes. So it's like, which is, that's the life we're called to as Christians often. But it's like,
you mean being religious in the improv scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could see if you put on an actual good improv show and then you reach out to people in the improv scene and say, hey, we're doing this improv show at a church. It does have some, religious overtones or whatever. You're welcome to come if you want. Then like anyone who's like slightly curious might actually go and maybe something happens there, like you're just kind of leaving it up to, as you should, to the Holy Spirit to work. But like, so maybe it's not a bad idea. I've kind of turned the corner on it. Now, I'm not saying that the improv is good. It's probably not, but but I kind of can respect the idea.
Well, the other thing is that it's also paid actors. So you could have people who are paid who aren't Christian doing the work, and that's another way to get them in the church.
Yeah. But I often don't like that kind of stuff. It's like when they hire musicians to play in the church band, and then they're all like kind of fakes. Like that, I don't think is like actually a very good thing. I think you should try and have people that are of the faith doing that kind of thing.
I used to do jazz. Our jazz band would play at the local church in East Texas all the time. And then, I'm over there sinning in the church,
Yeah.
That's how I can't play the sax if I'm not sinning.
Well, the sax is a sexy instrument, so.
It is. And I would expect if I was in the church, somebody to go, hey, just the way you're playing the sax is kind of like, it's suggestive. Like, yeah.
That's how you play sax?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Lots of hip thrusts.
I try to do it sexy, but I end up looking like a chipmunk. Like climbing a tree.
Just do it one more. Do it one more time for the audio listeners.
It's like angry.
It's very. It's not very like usually like playing the saxophone. You're like kind of like smooth.
It's a staccato moment. It's a lot of staccato notes.
You're playing the saxophone. It goes. Like every time you move.
Sounds like belly to belly missionary.
When I play sax, I fuck it. Some sax players, they want to like seduce the audience, make love to them.
Yeah.
I want to fuck them.
Got real intense there.
As far as Phillips knows, Vine is the only congregation that offers improv church. But as the number of Americans with no religious affiliation has grown from 5% to almost 30% in recent decades, holy shit, many faith communities have used non-traditional forms of worship to engage members. So how far is it before the church is like, sign up for our OnlyFans? We just got to get those people.
That was literally I was going to make that joke when I read this, like one of the tags. Yeah. I was like, when is OnlyFans church going to happen?
Exactly.
And it's funnily enough that this is brought up because today on Instagram,
like a fucking disgusting hot woman, and she spreads her legs, spreads her pussy apart, and then inside is this little Jesus, and goes, "Don't forget, Jesus loves you."
That is.
Come to service on Sundays. They're like, hey, we gotta reach the non-traditional people that don't usually come to church, and unfortunately, they're not paying attention until there's a pussy telling them to come to church.
That's
Look,
so bad.
The people aren't coming in the doors unless we open up an asshole and have someone inside of an asshole tell them to come to the church.
Is there crypto church, NFT church?
Oh,
well, I've done a lot of bits about my church and starting a crypto coin based on the church as a joke. Well, I don't want to say it because I don't want to dox the church I go to.
Yeah, and he also it's an idea. He wants to make sure that he sees it out.
Okay,
he doesn't want to spoil the business.
When we see Byron rich off of his church coin.
Well, it's a joke. It's not serious. Okay.
He's like, I said I didn't want to say on the podcast. It was church coin. It's like the easiest thing. It's like, well, I don't want to share it. It's too good of an idea. We're like, church coin? Shit. Damn it. Oh, man. Vine also offers yoga church and worship services at Silver Diner, while other congregations host a dinner church or nature church. Oh, that's pretty cool. I would go to nature church. Nature church sounds like a really good idea because then you get to, look at all this beautiful nature. This is from God.
But don't touch my rock.
It's my rock. Get away from my rock. For the audience that has no idea what we're talking about with that, back when we do improv scenes, we used to make fun of Byron for his character always being like, "Get away from my rock." It was more, he didn't do it that many times, but it became a bit.
I don't think I ever did it.
You did it twice.
Well, really?
A handful of times.
You did it twice, and then I did it once.
And then I did it like 4 more times.
Yeah. One church with heavy metal music describes itself as a non-denomination house of misfits. So is it really a church at that point?
Well, I mean, there's several denominations, so I think you can call yourselves that, but what separates them?
Good question. Do you guys think there's a lot of churches out there that just have completely dropped the values entirely so that way they're open to everyone, but it's like it's not even a church at that point anymore?
Yes.
You're not teaching any values. You're just going, hey, we're open to everyone and everything, so we
don't
really believe in anything.
I think that's a Starbucks.
Maybe, yes.
Yes, there is a lot of that these days. Although I will say, I think that some of the people, like modern thinking of like, let's try and reach these people that are unchristian or whatever, are going in these kind of directions where it's like, let's do what they're doing. And then my church like has a ton of young people in it, and it's a very like traditional, ancient, liturgical church. And yeah, we have like folk kind of musicality to it, but it's very like it's high church. It's like it's liturgical and traditional, and that's drawing people. And I think there's something about that that's actually drawing like younger people want to kind of connect with the roots of Christianity through the years, the ancientness of it, and the ancestry of it. Yeah. And I think that's actually kind of a draw in itself that people are kind of forgetting about when they go these super modern ways to try and connect and reach out to people.
So you think tradition is better than new?
I like liturgical services. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually feel the same way.
I could see that too, for sure. I think that there's a huge lack of tradition and a huge abandonment of tradition that like people feel empty, and I think that it fills some kind of role. And I think that tradition also kind of fills a bit of that like feeling of I'm lost, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. It's like a good way to take care of that is responsibility and tradition and like taking on responsibilities in your life. So
well, and what a lot of these
can I interject something funny here though?
Okay.
So what if
Sure, I guess.
How long is it before one of these churches, they're like, hey, we got to reach out to the people, so we have to do what they're doing. And they're like,
church?
And they're like, oh, well, what are they doing? And they're like, they're coveting thy neighbor. And it's like, well, we kind of have to do that now. Like, how it's going to be, we want to do what the people are doing, but all the people are doing is exactly what the church stands against. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's happening in a lot of ways.
For sure.
Yeah.
Improv should be a sin, by the way. That's my vote.
Improv.
It should be like a cardinal sin.
God's commandment 11.
Yes, I know.
The 11th commandment. Thou must not do improv comedy.
Thou shalt never yes and.
Thou shalt never ask for a suggestion.
Well, if we're going to get technical on this, like the way I took the story of Abraham with Isaac and Sarah when she's barren and God finally gives them a child, they name the child Isaac, which means laughter.
Okay.
And then God says, sacrifice your child to me. So Abraham goes up and
he said, when I get a one-word suggestion from the audience.
No. but like God says, no, keep that. So like the way I took that parable, because these are parables, people need to understand
and then God edited the scene really quickly.
Yeah, and he killed his own son instead. But it's like God said laughter is too important to humanity. So I don't think that laughter or comedy is a sin in of itself.
But you're making the assumption that improv comedy leads to laughter, and my friend.
Fair point. I stand back.
Just kidding. It can lead to laughter. It's just statistically does not.
Jesus' first words after the stone rolling away and him coming out of the tomb is, Can I get a suggestion?
Oh my God! Jesus' first words when he comes out is Sharna is a racist. He comes back to life. He goes, representation is important. The central question is whether these unique offerings can create communities that make people feel embraced and supported.
I think you got it right the first time with
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Can we create situations where people feel embarrassed? We'll start improv shows.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes all of these liturgical practices into something else, into something that actually matters. But if that doesn't happen, then I think it's more of a fun place to go and a great place to go. But I don't know what kind of ties you can ask people to have. Well, that's. I think that makes sense. It's like, at least we can get people in the door and give them a place to go where they feel welcome.
In that photo, is that all white people? Representation doesn't matter there.
I guess not. You think this dude in the middle is white?
Yeah, he looks like a Chinese Mexican.
He looks like one of those two things, maybe. Or he could just be a very tan white man.
He could be a tan guy.
It's hard to say. We have to figure out. All right, let's look up their backgrounds.
Yeah. Let's play Guess That Race.
Let's call Docs That Improviser.
You're starting
Our favorite game show on Working Grass, Docs That Improviser.
Docs.
You're going to start 23andMe Church.
Building that kind of community is part of Phillips's goal. She became the lead pastor at Vine, a United Methodist church, as the country was emerging from the height of the pandemic in the summer of 2021. Phillips quickly noticed that attendance has dwindled. About 40 people were attending Sunday services, down from roughly 200 people before the outbreak. Now, your sister is a pastor at a church.
Yes.
Lauren?
Yes.
Can we call her right now and ask her if we could start an improv team at her church?
At her church?
Yeah.
Doubt she'll answer.
Okay, well, fine.
But we could. I mean, I could call her.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to
literally just asked me to do it.
No.
No. She's probably preparing a sermon right now.
Probably. Actually. I don't want to call her and disrespect her like that. Hey, I know you've only met me once, but I want to call and do a bit at you.
At you.
Yeah, exactly.
I want you to sit there and listen while I do this.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're trying to make content here. Will you just sit here and participate while we basically mock what you do for a living?
I mean, I can.
That's okay. Not only had people gotten out of the habit of going to services, Phillips said, but many were questioning whether Christianity was still relevant to them, at times viewing the church as exclusionary or unwelcoming. Who are we, she asked herself, and how do we help connect a God who loves people, this incredible grace of God that exists, with people who long for that? Man, our last episode was very political. Now we're very religious. What are we going to do, Lauren? We're like a political, religious podcast now.
I think that's how you get views.
Maybe so. Maybe this will be one of our
I think that's how we blow up.
Great. Our most popular episode is going to be the one where I said the lady spreads her pussy apart and somebody tells
and
her
Jesus
that
comes
Jesus
out.
comes
Jesus
out.
loves you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jesus' warm embrace.
She went on to write a doctoral dissertation. Oh, it's kind of like Lauren, with all your little dissertations and your schoolwork, with all your smart stuff. You do,
Dr. Lauren.
Dr. Lauren. She went on to write a doctoral dissertation on improv theology, which she describes as how improv can serve as a reminder to view unexpected challenges with hope. In improv, she said, the best material starts when something goes wrong. Improv theology is the idea that something similar is true of life. That's very interesting. I like that.
That is kind of interesting.
It reminds me, improv has a lot of those cool things that kind of like are like little life lessons that help you like just go with the flow a lot easier.
On the fumble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. I feel like there was a lot of comparisons with that in like when I did jazz band and the whole thing with improvising in jazz too. There's a lot of stuff there that's like mistakes are welcome. Mistakes are like something cool and interesting to explore and lead into something that sounds different. So anyway. Well, I'm done with this. I'm done with this story.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, let's see. The improvisers would have no content restrictions. Okay, now we found something interesting. The show is recommended for people 14 and older and would be paid in occasional gift cards and sandwiches. Tickets would cost $10 because, as one of the performers told Phillips, comedy fans know they need to pay for good improv.
$10 is not paying for good improv.
I know. I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure I've paid $20 to one of the worst improv shows I've ever seen in my entire life once.
Yeah. That is interesting that there's no content restrictions. I think that's a good route to go.
I think it's a good route to go. I don't believe it.
I think that's just what they said to the Washington Post.
I do think it's probably something that they say,
yeah,
but that is not completely upheld.
I think a lot of people, and I truly believe this, that a lot of people actually don't see comedy that like goes a little too far, don't see dark comedy, and don't know it exists until they see it. And so I think I could see a church being like, no, there's no content restrictions. You guys should like have fun and do something. And then they do something on stage and they're like, I can't believe you would do that. I can't believe another human being would do that. Like, why would you? Because I feel like I see that all the time, and people getting appalled in an audience and standing up and feeling compelled to like shut the thing down as like, I've never even seen something like this before. It's like, well, you probably should have because you bought tickets to this. Like, but anyway.
I also don't feel like Christians should be judging other people.
Yeah.
That's not what we're meant to do.
Totally. I agree.
I disagree. When I was growing up, judging was the most important part of Christianity. My mother taught me that. She says, number one rule in Christianity, judge, judge, judge.
That's your judging finger.
Anytime we would do something that was like maybe bad or wrong, she would go, what am I going to tell people at church? I go, you don't have to tell them. And she'd go, yes, I do.
Man, East Texas is so weird.
No, I was born and raised in North Texas. I went to college in East Texas. But East Texas is weird.
Yeah.
That's where you got Vidor, Texas. You know about Vidor, Texas?
No, but I know about White House.
Oh, well, that's pretty much that might be in Vidor, Texas, too. That might be what they call it. Anyway. This is interesting. It kind of allows you to laugh more and look at maybe how crazy life situations are, and yet you can still pull God into it. Overall, I approve.
Yeah, I do too.
Good idea.
I think it's interesting.
It might not get them a lot of new church members, but maybe it does.
It's all about planting the seed, though.
Yeah,
it's not you often plant the seed and you're not there to see it grow, and you never know what any of those people who might have gone to one of those improv churches. You don't know what if that lit something within them. It might.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Especially if the performer's like, "Oh, I'm planting my seed." In the scene. Oh, I'm planting my seed right now. yeah, really ridiculous, hard, aggressive humping.
I'm releasing.
Oh man. Anyway, I was just looking at the comments, but it looks like most people agree that this is a good idea. Fun. Let's have some fun in church. Let's make church a little fun. Let's have some ha-has together.
I think church can get really boring.
I'm sure it can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? The good stuff is the boring stuff. That's where the important stuff is. Right? Nah. Nah. Well, moving on, we got another story here, and we picked this one because we have our two gayest friends here with us today. So,
you think that's funny?
Yes, I do. Don't get Byron. Don't pout.
This is the opposite of stoic.
Yeah, this is not stoic.
To be honest,
remember, you were like, I'm so stoic, I bounce back real quick.
If they're going to use prejudice against us, let's use it back. If they're calling us gay, that means we dress well.
Yeah. Hey, listen to Kelsey. Be proud to be gay.
Shut up.
Dress well, no brunch.
I don't go to brunch. You go to brunch.
I did. I had really good brunch today.
That's okay. We won't judge you. But our article here today is hotel chain forces 2 male employees to share a bed on a work trip. Is it the hotel's fault or is it the boss's fault?
Now my question is, they forced them? How'd they force them?
That's a great question. We're gonna have to find out.
Like, are there guys?
Oh
with
man,
guns?
there's 2 beds here. Forced to sleep in the same
Get in the
one.
fucking left bed.
Get in the left bed or you're fired. Fuck your friend or you're fired. Now,
look at the name of the blogger real quick, by the way.
The name of the blogger, Alexandra Blogier.
Blogier.
She's like a blogger.
Yeah.
Blogier.
Yeah. She's married to the blog.
I like blogger.
I mean, it's probably Blogier.
It's probably
Blage.
Shut up.
Blogger.
It's blowjob. Alexandra blowjob. They couldn't find one picture of 2 guys in a bed, by the way.
No, because no two straight guys would post.
No two straight guys would do that, dude. I would never do that.
You can use gay guys in the picture and pretend gay guys can't play straight.
No,
they really can't.
Because that's not true
we can tell.
representation.
We can tell when they're gay.
Anytime you ask a gay guy to play straight, he goes, "Fuck no, I won't do it." Anyway, I just wonder why is a hotel sending mail and why is a hotel sending employees to another hotel? What is this?
Well, it might be their same
Managers.
hotel, but
Yeah, they could be managers.
They're managers, and then they stay. They like,
They're
hey,
the bed testers.
sleep here tonight. What is this? What is this?
They're the bed testers.
It says a work trip.
Yeah.
What work trip? What hotel sends their employees anywhere? Where do you have to go? You have beds to clean. What are you talking
There
about?
might be
work
multiple
trip?
managers meeting.
yeah, it's a it could be a conference, a hotel conference, or it could be like, hey, we need you to go observe this one hotel, and
We think someone's stealing.
yeah.
Go look over the shoulder of this other manager.
It's
and
a
then
low
sleep
level-
in a bed with them.
It's a low level. It's like when I worked at the movie theater. Like they didn't send me to a movie theater conference unless I was a manager. And these guys have a manager who set them up in this. That's what it's saying. Is that their boss's fault?
Well,
I'm
their
just like,
boss could be the E CEO.
Maybe, I guess. Let's find out. A boss wrote into the subreddit R Hotels with a question about etiquette and recourse surrounding a mistake made by a big-name hotel that affected 2 of his employees while on a trip. The hotel chain made 2 employees share a bed during a work trip. Hilton made my employees share a king bed, booked 2 queens. Within the post, he shared that he took... that's another thing. You guys are right. No one's making them share a bed. No one's making anyone share a bed. Unless there was a gun involved.
Book 2 Queens was just him describing the 2 employees that were the side of the room.
Well played.
Now, I had to stay in a room with... Okay, this is a great story. It's a really dumb story, but it's a great story. When I was in high school and I was in band, we went on a trip to San Antonio. Competitive... We were, competing marching band. And on this trip, I signed up late. I didn't have the money for the trip for a long time. I saved. And then last minute, I was able to save enough money. And I said, hey, I would like to attend the trip. I made enough money to attend. I paid my dues. They said, there's no more rooms left. We're going to have to just put you in a spot in one of the unassigned rooms. So I couldn't stay with my friends. I had to stay in the hotel with the 2 guys that didn't have a roommate, the 2 guys that nobody signed up to be their roommates. This guy, we called him Staffy because he had staph infection. I don't know if you guys remember.
I had one. His name was Daniel.
That's great. Tuba? Did he play tuba?
No. He was a tech guy for theater.
Nice.
I had staff.
Oh, my God. You were Staffy at your school?
No, I was
You
not.
were Staffy.
I did not have staff. Never. Not yet, at least.
I remember that being a big thing then.
Yeah,
anyways,
I didn't know what it was. It made me feel uncomfortable.
we called him Staffy anyway, so I had to stay in their room. And I was like, and him and his other friend, the other friend's last name was Burger, and it just that freak. I was like, I have to stay with Staffy and Burger. Anyway, so and they're tuba players. They stunk. They were not fun. They were guys that nobody else wanted to sign up to be in their room, and for a good reason. Don't awe them. I had so many friends that were weirdos and freaks that my mom said, stop hanging out with these kids. And I said, they have no other friends. I'm their only friend. I will continue to hang out with them. These 2 guys, they had each other. They had a friend, okay? They didn't need me. They had each other. If they were completely alone, I would be one of their friends. But they're not. They had each other to butt fuck or whatever they do in the bed. I did not sleep in one of those beds. I got... towels from the restroom. I laid on the floor and I laid the towel over me like a blanket, and I stayed in that room. So anyway, I go hang out with my friends during the day. Once the curfew hits, I would have to go back into the room with Staffy and Burger and sleep in my towels. One time, hanging out with my friends in their hotel room, and we're all hanging out. I had taken my shoes off. I couldn't find them. I was like, it's okay. I'll just come back in the morning before we leave to Six Flags or whatever we were doing that day. Mm-hmm. Go back to Staffy and Burgers.
That Six Flags down there sucks in San Antonio.
Oh, God, it was awful. As I walk out, I go, hey, guys, don't do anything weird like come in my shoes. Then I left, because just being funny. Like, hey, I'm going to leave my shoes here. Don't come in them or anything. Like, just thinking, that's absurd. Nobody would do that. Then I left. So that planted a seed, if you will, to use a Byron phrase. That planted a seed in my friends' heads that they'll come in my shoes. So that's what happened. I had to stay with Staph Infection Man and Burger Man, and in the meantime, my friends were like, "Let's come in Josh's shoes." So they came in each of my shoes, and then told me when we were on a roller coaster at Six Flags, once we got up to the very top, and then went, "Hey, dude, I came in your shoes," and then we went down the thing.
So did they just leave like a puddle of cum and you put your foot in it and didn't notice?
2 different friends took turns. One took the left shoe, one took the right, and then they took turns in the restroom.
And your nickname throughout high school was Cum Shoes.
I did get called cum shoes a lot. And my band director, big fat Mexican dude, who I love. He's why I went to my college that I went to, because he went to the same college. He was a great teacher. He goes, "They came in your shoes? Gross, man." Like, that was all his. He didn't like try to get them in trouble. He wasn't like, "I'm so sorry that happened." He's like, "That's fucking sick, dude. You walking around and cum now, bro."
You know, it sounds to me like Staffy and Burger were your actual friends.
They were the ones that didn't come in my shoes.
But nice your shoes weren't left there. They didn't have the opportunity.
If they had been given the opportunity, they might have come, and then I would get staph infection with that cum. That would be infected cum.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
I think so.
100%.
There was
shit. I don't fucking know.
One time on a tennis trip.
Yeah.
I also was like having to room with some like people that were just fucking like, you know, those like guys like that you like you play football with or whatever, kind of like that kind of shit. That like you're kind of worried they might actually do some shit like cum in your shoes or like teabag you or whatever. They're like, "Oh, let's do an oil check or whatever." Like kind of super gay shit, but like. So they were like joking with me about like doing something like that while I was sleeping. And I was
by the way, these friends, married to men now.
Yeah. So
I tried to explain to people. I was like, no, my friends aren't gay. They're straight guys. They just thought it would be funny. My mom goes, "Josh, they're gay."
They're gay.
And I'm like, no, not at all. Now they're 100% married to men.
It's a bit. They're committed to the bit.
But there was on this trip, I was so like worried about it. I didn't want anything to happen that I said, "Okay, well then, fuck you." I walked into the bathroom, locked the door, took towels, slept in the bathtub. Yep. And they were like, "I gotta take a shit, man. I gotta pee, dude." And I'm like, "You shouldn't have threatened me like doing something like that, because I'm not opening this door and I'm sleeping in this bathtub." And I did the whole trip.
Good.
And I lost.
You lost? They butt fucked you?
They broke in, dude. They wanted me so bad. No, I lost at tennis because my neck hurt real bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was not comfortable, but
at least you were allowed to compete.
At least I didn't have cum in my shoes.
Yeah, it sounds like you weren't competitive, though.
Yeah.
Okay, shut up.
Because a real competitor would have played with cum in their shoes and cum in their ass.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe they needed to plant the seed. Planting a seed is important. At church. Oh, man.
It looks like this wasn't the boss's fault, though.
Yeah.
Sounds like the hotel fucked up.
Yeah.
It seems like it. It seems like he booked a room with 2 beds, and the hotel was like, we gave them a room with 1 bed.
And also, it doesn't sound like this is the hotel chain made the mistake, not the boss.
Right.
So it seems like this is a different, not a hotel chain that sent people, but a different company.
It's the hotel they stayed at?
The Hilton, specifically. We're bashing you, Hilton.
Yeah, Hilton made my employees share a king bed.
Hilton made my employees spoon each other.
Yeah, Hilton made my employees get pregnant. Within the post, he shared that he took a few of his long-term employees on a vacation/work event at an all-inclusive resort where the room booked was one of the premium rooms. A few of his long-term employees on a vacation/work. This sounds like a weird, sketchy thing. This is not something that you work at a hotel. You're like, "Hey, my boss is sending me to a resort." I'm like, I assume that if you work at a hotel, you're cleaning jizz all day. You have like a black light, and that's all you have time to do.
Or you're just smoking crack in the janitor room.
Yeah, or you're fucking, you know how many people kill themselves at hotels? Like, your job is scraping brain off the ceiling. Like, why are you on a resort? Why are you at a resort? Someone has to scrape the brain. They are coworkers, and I don't know how hotel employees would think this to be acceptable, the boss complained, willfully ignoring that he organized the trip and, as their higher-up, deemed it okay for employees to share a room in the first place. So he booked them for a room to share, and it ended up being a 1-bed instead of a 2-bed. I don't think it's bad for 2 of the same sex employees to have to share a room if the company is saving money. It is a little weird and uncomfortable, though. When my company sent me to Vegas, I had my own room.
I mean, I don't feel weird sharing the room with somebody if they're like, you're sleeping in the same bed. That's where the line is weird for me. But it seems like he booked 2 different beds, so I don't think the line was crossed.
I know.
I found out after the fact, as the guys didn't speak up for some reason.
Oh, no.
They, like, asked the hotel clerk to be like, do 1 bed.
Yeah. Can we
don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, just weird thing. We ended up sharing a bed. Not a big deal or anything. Unrelated. My butt hurts.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Unrelated. I've been farting cum all day.
Oh my God.
And scene. Next suggestion, please, for the congregation.
Thanks for the crucifix suggestion.
It was 4 nights, and Hilton didn't try to remedy it or even offer to change their room the next day. The boss questioned what the appropriate remedy would be for 2 of his employees being forced to share a bed. They keep saying being forced to share a bed.
Yeah.
Did they go down to the front desk and ask, like, hey, can we get 2 beds?
No, they didn't say anything, remember? They were quiet about it.
Yeah.
So they weren't forced.
Yeah.
They chose to sleep together.
They accepted it.
They did. Do you think I should make a big stink about it? He asked the Reddit community. Predictably, people online did not hold back their honest opinions. Most people argued it was wrong for the boss to ask his workers to share a room in the first place, believing that he was at fault, not the hotel. Some Redditors noted that they have had to share rooms at large corporate events, but this boss's vacation/work event didn't fall under that category. That employees had to share such intimate space could be a sign of a highly toxic workplace. Okay. All right. Now we're starting.
I don't think it's a big deal for them to share rooms. I really don't.
Red flag. The boss is probably a rapist. That's like how far it goes. Like,
yeah.
This is toxic. And many others question the boss's insistence that a combination vacation and work event is an actual thing. Wait. Is it a vacation or a work event? It's never, ever both, one person wrote. I'm not sure about you, but my vacations don't have work people or work events. Agreed. Problem number 1 is using the term vacation/work event. That doesn't compute. No such thing, especially for a hotel.
Well, again, this isn't the hotel that's doing it. They bought the rooms.
No, but they work for hotel.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hotel employees.
They're hotel employees, yeah.
But also... I also disagree with the whole, vacation/work event thing. Because, I get what they're saying. It's like, well, if it's a work event, then, they have to go. Or it's like, it's not going to be, they're not going to be enjoying themselves on vacation. But my company did something where they sent, all the leadership staff to,
Hawaii?
No, I think it was Galena, so it wasn't any big
and
place. But Galena's pretty, and it's a vacation spot, and they had activities to do, and it was a little retreat, and they did some team building stuff too. But it was pretty free reign as far as I know, and they obviously drank a lot too.
Was the team building 2 people sleeping in the same bed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they can't fuck each other at the work event, then they're not going to enjoy the vacation.
If you can't fuck in Galena, where can you fuck? One person even called the boss out directly. This is so Reddit. The issue is with you. You should never make employees share the room in the first place. Another Redditor definitively answered the boss's question, explaining the remedy is you should make it up to your employees.
He's like, all right, I guess you guys have to sleep with me now, too.
One has to wonder if the hotel is at fault for the bed sharing mishap or if the Reddit community. None of this is clear. Did they, if they're upset about sharing the bed, did they go to the front desk and go, hey, we were supposed to have 2 beds? And did the hotel just refuse to correct that? That's the most important detail that's completely missing from this.
Did the boss try and ship his bed out to the hotel to help his employee? If he didn't do that,
he's a monster.
And he should be killed.
Yeah, it also sounds like, you can always get a cot at hotels too.
Yeah.
Get a cot, and when you sleep on the cot.
or you can get towels and leave your shoes open for someone to take advantage of.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Or sleep in the bathtub. Yep.
Exactly.
Actually, this might have been a pretty successful work trip because it doesn't say anything about anybody's shoes getting filled with cum.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
They
very
shared
true.
a bed,
This is a
but
good boss.
Yeah.
That's a
This is
pretty
a good boss.
those shoes
He
are
didn't even,
empty.
like, cum on them. He's pretty good. This guy's good. Oh man. Well, all right. Let's move on here. Let's actually do.
move on.
Yeah, we're gonna do these 2 Reddit stories. I
Let's
don't know if we're gonna do
move
this
on.
dating one.
What does that one say?
Well, it is. People share the one behavior on a first date that immediately ruled out a second date.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do we want to do this? We could do it.
No, I just think it's interesting. I just want to go around. What's the ick that you guys have on first dates, especially you two, since you're like out dating?
Yeah. Yeah. My.
My ick is to find out that they're not my husband.
Yeah, I
Fair.
know. My ick is to find out it is my wife.
I will say one thing I've gotten from girls on a first date, and this is so fucking ridiculous. It like drives me mad. They're like, "Oh, you have an Android?"
I read recently
Isn't that
somebody posted a
fucking
thing on Reddit
stupid?
that they were like, I went on a date with a guy. He was perfect in every way, but he had an Android. And like, I need to probably split up with him, don't I? And the comments were like, yes, you do.
That's so funny because Android users are actually smarter on average than iPhone users.
Really?
I'm an iPhone user.
I'm an iPhone user too.
Me too.
Droid.
I'm a droid. I'm a droid.
Droid.
Lauren's like, God damn it, I have to be.
Couple
I definitely
droids.
bring the average down, probably a little bit on the droid users, but
Couple
No,
droids.
you're a successful salesperson. You know how to manipulate people. You're using your faith to try and get what you want out of things.
shut up, Kelsey. No, I don't, dude. No, I don't. That's some bullshit.
You know
You're
how to,
projecting.
you know how to save your boss some money by only using one bed on a work trip with all your
Yeah.
coworkers?
Yeah. I tell them.
You know how to keep people away from your rock.
Yeah, I do. Stay away from my rock.
Within the first 10 minutes, my date said, I have a restraining order against my ex-wife, but she's still my best friend and the love of my
Why the
life.
fuck would he say that?
Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb as hell.
Response have been lightly edited for clarity and length. So these are a bunch of different things that people said. The one with the spitball. A man coughed sputum into his hand.
Sputum.
Sputum?
Yeah.
What is that? Like
Spit
like
up,
when you go
like a loogie.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
god.
hocked a lug.
Showed it to me like a yellow oyster and licked it off. In retrospect, I should have left then, but I was frozen like a deer in headlights with the power of the literal ick. Okay, this one's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, that
like
one's bad.
That's fair.
yeah.
I don't know if that'd be the ick because I feel like the ick is something that happens multiple times. It's just a bad experience.
That's like a horrible. What did he think that was gonna happen? Did he think this was hot? He's like, check this out. And it's like, hey, and also watch this. I like licked it back up.
There are people who like to spit in each other's mouths.
True.
Don't you touch my
sputum.
Yeah, but are they? But they're just spitting spit. They're not spitting like loogies into each other's mouths.
I don't know. I haven't
We don't
been
know.
put in one of those situations.
You haven't tested it out.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. When my muscle mommy tells me what I'm doing, I'll find out.
Here's another one. Ron picked me up at my house in his Jeep. As I hopped in his car, I noticed something light green and fuzzy in the back seat. I knew he had kids, so I asked innocently, "Is that your child's baby blanket?" He replied matter-of-factly, "No, that's my whoopee." Looking for clarification, I repeated, "You mean that's your daughter's whoopee?" He got indignant and said, "No, she has her own whoopee. That's mine."
It's mine. Don't you touch my whoopee.
What the fuck's a whoopee?
Every single one of these is going to result in me
This
being,
guy's
"Don't you
blanket.
touch
It's
it."
his baby. It's what he calls his baby blanket.
Is a whoopee a baby blanket?
No, it's
I
his
think
term
his
for
name.
it.
I think that's his name for his baby blanket. I don't think it's commonly used. I think it's his unique name for his unique whittle whoopee.
My whoopee.
I wanted to tell him to turn
It
around
just
and take
sounds
me
like
home.
something a parent would call their children's like private parts.
Clean your whoopee.
Make sure you
Did you
wash
wash your
between your
whoopee?
whoopee.
I don't like that. I don't
These
think
are
it's a
pretty.
whoopee.
These are pretty bad. Okay, these are like okay. I expected to read this article and it would be things like he had an Android or like like dumb things that would be not that. These are deal breakers. These are crazy. I was once on a date with a girl that was initially going well until about halfway through the date. When she began to mention her ex and how much we looked alike, she kept asking if I had a brother, which I do, then proceeded to show me pictures of said ex so that I could agree that I looked like him. I did not think we did. That wasn't even the final straw. She went on to tell me how he cheated on her and treated her badly while casually dropping the line, I tried to kill him once. He's lucky he got out of that one. With a straight face, no hints of sarcasm. I immediately got up and left after that.
Oh, dude, man, she's into some weird shit.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm glad you did that, dude. What's her number?
Yeah, you guys are like, I'd stay with her.
I like the crazy ones,
I don't know
dude.
if I'd stay with her, but like, people get emotional and dropping lines. Like I try to give everyone the benefit of a doubt a little bit. And like, yes, that's weird, but also like if someone's willing to admit that, they're being vulnerable for you.
Yeah. No. I think murderers are great. Let's give them a chance. Let's give these murderous bitches a chance. No, when I was dating, this wasn't long before I dated Lauren. This was like maybe like a year before I met you. And I think I've told you this too. I met this girl on like Tinder, I believe, and we met at a hookah lounge, and she told me that she raped a former boyfriend with the handle of a knife, and did that because men rape women all the time, and so women need a few to go ahead and get payback for all of the women that have been raped by men.
God, that's crazy, dude. What's her name?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
What's her number?
I did not stick around with her after that.
that
I mean, we
sucks.
fucked, but like that's no, just joking. I mean, we went back to her place, but then I left. I went on a first date with a man who explained what was wrong with each of the last 8 women he'd gone on first dates with. For me, it was her cat. Or I'm sorry. For one, yeah. He told her directly, "Your calves suck." No, I'm sorry. For one, it was her calves. The whole premise of his explanation was bad, but that one was definitely a deal breaker. He also tried to be relatable about it, but I could not. I don't even really see men's calves before we have sex, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Well, okay, but to be honest,
By
like
Jenny Hogan, a stand-up comedian and author of "I'm More Dateable Than a Plate of Refried Beans" and other romantic observations.
sounds hilarious. Well, you know what? Like, I think you can learn a lot about someone's calves. Like, it kind of teaches you how they like are a good like rancher, how they can raise them, how they take care of them. I think it
means actual legs, not their baby cows.
No.
Well, I can say one thing that my dad told me is like when you're gonna date a woman, look at her ankles specifically.
Really? Why?
Because however much weight they can hold, they will hold.
You know, my granddad told me, and this is true, I had a situation where there was 2 girls that liked me, and I couldn't pick between. Are you laughing about how hard you bombed?
You guys planned that. You guys planned not to laugh when you knew I was going to do it. That's bullshit, dude. You knew that was funny.
Wait a minute. No, we didn't plan. We didn't get together and go, hey, let's not laugh when this unfunny thing happens. Okay. There was 2 girls.
That's bullshit. I'm not making one more joke.
No, feel free to start making jokes whenever you'd like. So, I'm just playing. I'm sorry. There's 2 girls. 2 girls that liked me, and I couldn't pick which one to date. I talked to my grandpa about this. My grandpa tells me this story. He goes, well, once upon a time, there was a prince. And he wanted to find the most perfect princess, and he needed to choose. And so all of the women in the town lined up, and he was able to narrow it down to 3 women, but he could not pick between those 3 women. And so he decided he was going to give them all a bunch of gold. And the way that they spent the gold is how he would decide on which women. It would tell him more about those women, and then he could choose which woman he would like to pick. So the first one, she took her gold, and she spent it on the poor. She gave it to the poor and gave to the people who need money to show that she's really giving. Mm-hmm. The second woman, she went out and spent it all on beauty products to make herself look beautiful for the man. And the third one used it to buy gifts for the man, gifts for the prince, to try to appease him. So he brings them all back in, looks at the way they all spent their money, and goes, I'm still having a hard time deciding. You know what? How about this? One with the biggest tits wins. My granddad told me that. And he goes, and you can use that in your situation here. So all in all, he told me that story to tell me, just pick the one with the biggest tits.
Sounds like a smart man.
I mean, you guys were talking about, telling stories that of advice for dating.
Go back to the dating stuff.
I gotta add this to my wish list. I gotta add, I'm more dateable than a plate of refried beans and other romantic observations. I gotta add that to my wish list.
All right.
You think she's dating someone now? You think she's married? Her book that I'm more. If you have to write a whole book saying you're dateable, are you dateable?
Yeah, definitely not.
I just don't like the fact that it's not on a plate. It's just in the can.
I know, in the picture.
That's what I don't like about. Also, it's this ugly puce, looks like a peach.
Yeah. Laugh out loud observations on modern romance. I'm having a hard time reading tonight. Includes stories, quirky lists, quizzes, and more. I'm trying. I gave my cell number to a guy at the end of our first date. He called later that evening to tell me he'd done a little research and found out that I was married. Mentioned my husband's name and called me a liar and a cheat. The name was my dad's. We were on a family share plan. Needless to say, there wasn't a second date. Damn.
Also, that's weird that the guy just made an assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's good for her to get out.
Now, my dad works for a law firm, so he can look people up in the system or whatever. And I'm pretty sure he probably does that with all of my sisters, boyfriend. If she ever meets a new boy, he's got to be running to the database, going what's his history? Probably happens. Tall women are truly subjected to the worst pickup lines. Being 6'0", I'm always on edge on dates because I'm just waiting for the moment where someone comments on my height in a way that makes me want to evaporate. One time I was on a date, and before the appetizers even came out, he said, "You may be 6'0" standing up, but I'm 6'0" laying down." I immediately said, "Check, please." What?
Dude,
what? It's this one I disagree with. That's funny. And this woman who is a stand-up comedian and doesn't want to date the funny guy.
It's funny. The next person is also a stand-up comedian. I think these are all stand-up comedians.
They're all stand-ups.
They're all female stand-ups. Yeah. Of course. Hey, I'm just saying, and I'm sorry to say this on our podcast where we never talk bad about women, but of course the article about all of the things that you can't do on dating is all female stand-up
Although
comedians.
The next one, I think this is probably fair.
Yeah, it's my type.
She said the N-word.
What the hell?
How is that a deal breaker?
She could have been doing karaoke. Come on.
I think Simon's Fraser good on that one.
If it was he said the N-word and this was a woman, I go, absolutely, red flag, don't date. She said the N-word, I'll go, you found yourself a keeper, my friend.
That is funny.
Oh, my God. Anyway, halfway through the date, he turned to me and said, "I hope you know that this is more of a meeting of the minds," and proceeded to tell me how, let me know I could order anything from the happy hour menu. After he left, the bar owner came over and told me he heard the whole thing about meeting of the minds and told me to call up 2 friends and he would pick up our tab for the rest of the night. So it ended up being a pretty good date without my date. So all he said was it would be a meeting of the minds, and she was like, over.
Yeah.
And the manager, the bar owner goes, "Yeah, let me get you out of this situation."
Sounds like this manager and this guy work together so the manager can look good and try and pull some tang.
Yuzu.
Yeah, the co-host and creator of the podcast,
Dateable.
Again, if you have to make a whole podcast about how dateable you are, you're not dateable. There's no way you're dateable.
Because it's trying too hard. It's like overselling.
Here's my podcast. My penis is definitely not small.
No, I watch Working Crass. Your penis is huge.
That's why he has My Big Penis, the podcast.
Don't you touch my penis.
Within the first 10 minutes, my date said, "I have a restraining order against my ex-wife, but she's still my best friend and the love of my life." That just sounded like he was already in several complicated relationships and that I should go. But it was my first time going to eat at Lemonade, and I enjoyed that.
Jones.
That's by Jones. That was by me. My name is Jones. Once a girl's mom showed up in the middle of the date, they both talked about a wedding they had to go to, ordered food, ate, and left together.
Yeah, dude. She fucking played you, dude.
Yeah.
She definitely didn't like you.
But if this happened with a dude, if a dude's mom showed up and then they both like laughed and left together, it's like, hey, I'm going to go fuck my mom.
What is the name of this one? Read the name of this one.
The one with the orgasm king.
Yes.
All right. I was running a bit behind to the date, so I texted him to let him know, and he offered to order me a drink. I arrived to a traditionally handsome finance bro, about 10 years my senior, holding a salted rim spicy margarita. After we cheersed, we locked eyes to take our first sip, and just as the liquid was about to hit my lip, he blurted out loudly, "I can make any woman orgasm." No, how was your day? Not one, what is your favorite movie? Just right out of the gate with orgasming. I closed my eyes, pulled the drink away from my mouth, exhaled, and said, "Okay, curious, what's the technique?" To which he said he always enlists the help of a magic wand.
When God him
I set my drink down, told him he isn't credited for giving the women an orgasm, the toy was, and said that some amount of small talk would have been a nice lubrication to that opener. Of course, she's a comedian.
I know.
Oh, a little bit of lubrication to that opener. Oh, you're so fucking clever.
I really wish he had said that he enlists the help of his friends.
It's a gangbang.
Yeah, me and my friends can definitely bring you to orgasm.
Here's the technique. I don't do it. My friend will do it for you.
Yeah. My technique, it's called 5-man hands. Then I excused myself from that date and from future dates for many months because, as he said, all we needed was a little magic after all. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Blah. This was interesting. This was worth reading.
Yeah.
Because it was funny, but geez. Some of them, completely understandable. 100%, yes, absolutely, red flags. Some of them,
a little judgy.
Way too judgy. Especially
judgy.
that girl with the N-word. Let her say it. I'm just joking.
Good Lord.
She's like, I got the card.
Yeah, I was given the card. All right, so we're going to wrap it up with one last story here. Before we do, I do want to plug a couple things here real quick. Kelsey, do you have anything to plug? Do you want to plug anything for the people?
No, I got
You're like, don't
off.
even put my last name in this show, please.
No, the house team I was on got kicked off of IO, and then I wasn't placed on a new team, so I'm sad and alone right now.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, if you guys are sad and alone and living in Chicago,
and you want to start an improv team, call this guy.
Here's a couple shows you guys can check out. As a matter of fact, by the time this one comes out, because it's going to be in a couple weeks, the upcoming show is the big one. Byron is doing some live music at My Buddy's Bar in Chicago on Friday, March 22nd, starting at 6:30 p.m. I'll be opening with some music as well. Byron, what kind of music are you going to play?
Sad.
Like sad music. Yeah. So if you guys are feeling...
Don't you touch my tears! And I'm going to be playing saxophone sexily.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's... The audio listeners are loving this bit.
Yeah.
They love it. They loved it the first time you did it.
Yeah, well,
now they're hating it.
Well, that was your opportunity to get some people out to your show, and I'm glad you really took that opportunity and ran with it.
I do have a question though. What is the name of this bar?
The bar is called My Buddy's Bar.
Yeah, no. What's the name of the bar?
Yeah. I've heard this 100 times now. I'm so sick of this bit.
Someone I booked literally was like, "So is this like your buddy's place?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
no, it's actually that's the bar's name."
I know. Yeah. I know.
So
the bar is called My Buddy's Bar.
Mm-hmm.
I do think you should call the show Byron's Big One.
Byron's Big One.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My biggin.
Biggin.
I still don't know what I'm gonna call it. I guess
Byron's Buddies at My Buddies. Byron's
BJ Buddy.
Improv Church.
Improv Church.
You should call it. What did we call? What did we say? He has Jizzen.
Oh my God.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to He is Jizzen.
He is Jizzen.
The seeds float to the top.
So if you're listening, you're in the Chicago area and you like music, come check that out. It's going to be a lot more fun and a lot better than the way Byron has described.
It'll be great. It'll be
really fun.
Yeah.
Come out and check it out. Hey there, Crass Wipes. I just want to take a quick moment to tell you about the best way to support Lauren and I and all of Working Crass Podcast, and that is patreon.com/workingcrasspod. We are making some super funny bonus episodes every single week, putting them out there on Patreon. If you want to check them out, go ahead there, patreon.com/workingcrasspod. We would really appreciate the support. It would really, really help us out because we're broke. We don't have any money. If you're not convinced yet, here's a quick clip of one of our latest episodes.
I'm not happy that we talked about it. I just felt like it needed...
You said, this is something I've been waiting to talk about. I wanted to talk about. I tried to wrap up the podcast. You go, no, I got something important. There was a poo-poo lady. I listened to a podcast with a poo-poo lady. Now, you better be happy that we talked about it.
I'm not happy we talked about it. I felt like I had to talk about it. Like it was haunting me in my mind.
So if you like what you see, go head over to patreon.com/workingcrasspod. We got a lot more of it over there. All right, back to the episode. That being said, we got two options here. We got Reddit stories. One of them is called "I'm sleeping with a family friend," and it's a 19-year-old male sleeping with a 53-year-old female. Yeah. Or am I the asshole for telling my son's girlfriend to break up with him?
Oh, I want to read that one.
Telling my son's girlfriend to break up with him.
I want to hear about a dude living the dream.
I know, fucking the old lady too. All right, let's do a vote. Let's do a vote here. Sleeping with a family friend?
All right.
What the fuck? You're never on my team. Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm Team Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back on. I was going to be on Team Lauren. I'm on Team Glenn now again. Some bullshit.
All right. I'm sleeping with a family friend. This is a male.
Oh, so funny.
Hey, man, are you okay?
Yeah, calm down, dude.
Do you know that you're loved?
Practice some stoicism for a second.
I am.
Jesus loves you.
I am
All
practicing
you have
stoicism.
To do is embrace Jesus' loving embrace inside the vagina.
Her name is Shelly. Come on.
You're reading without us? Stop reading without us. He's silently
Start reading then.
Reading.
Start reading.
Okay. Now, first step of stoicism is passive aggressiveness. This is a male 19-year-old with a 53-year-old female. This woman and her family have been friends with mine since before I was born. Her and my mother have been friends for over 2 decades, and she would babysit me a lot when I was little.
Yeah.
I already like this story because I was babysat by a porn star, an award-winning porn star. Her name is Tawny Roberts. Everyone can go look her up. She was my babysitter. She bathed me, and then she won the AVN for best anal scenes. So, just saying, maybe that's why I'm so cool. Maybe that's why there's a whole book about me in the Bible. Okay, just throwing that out there.
What was her name again?
Tawny Roberts. Go Google her.
Tawny Roberts.
Her name is Shelly. She's a relative, actually. She is related to, well, not blood related to me, thank God. She is related to my uncle, who is married into the family, so there's no blood relation. So I can still look her up on the internet. But I haven't, because that would be wrong. She's my babysitter. But she bathed me, and she won, and she won best anal, so... Just saying, living the dream. Anyway, her name is Shelly, and her husband owns a company that I will occasionally do work for. I also do miscellaneous jobs for them, like house sitting and dog sitting. Me and Shelly have gotten a lot closer because of how often I've been watching their dogs for them, and she is usually the one who comes home. Her husband is very busy and is hardly home with his company. Shelly will always encourage me to stay at her house longer than I need to, and she said how much she appreciates me being around when her husband is not. Oh, I really appreciate you being around, especially with my husband out. I get so lonely here at home. This is hot. This is awesome. She has started to cook for me when I'm over and will show much more signs of affection, like longer hugs and kisses on my cheek. It really started 2 weeks ago when she gave me a long hug, and I was and instead of I'm guessing leaning in or something, And instead of kissing me on the cheek, she kissed my lips. I kissed her back, and we did that for like 2 minutes. Oh, my God, this is awesome. She apologized and said she missed having someone show her this much attention. I didn't care, and I liked it because I always found her to be very attractive despite her mature age. This is that Pete Davidson character on where he does the like, okay. You know, like this, he's just kind of the brain dead guy. And the old lady's like, would you like to make love to me? And he's like, okay. Sweet. Sounds good.
Sure. Duh.
Sure. Awesome. I'm 19, so like I got a boner all the time. I didn't care. I liked it because I always found her to be very attractive despite her mature age. She texted me the next morning asking if I could come over, and I did. I came in and we hugged and kissed, but this time she held my hand and pulled me down the hall and into her bedroom. I knew what was happening, but I didn't know if I should follow through. I was correct with my thought, and we laid in bed kissing before she started to undress. I sucked on her nipples. Oh my God, this is awesome. I got off the bed and went down to the ground to suck on her nipples. Before I took off my clothes and she gave me a blowjob. No dentures. We switched into missionary, and after we were finished, we went back to making out. We both got dressed, and she made me some hot food before I left. We have had sex 2 more times since this happened, and I don't regret it. The only thing I'm concerned about is one of her daughters finding out, and especially her husband finding out. Jesus.
So I'm gonna say this, like, the fact that she's married, I got a problem with that. Like, I don't condone cheating in any manner.
Yeah.
If she was a widower, then it's hot.
Yeah. She's 53 though.
Dude, shut the fuck up, dude. Like,
She's
they're hot
53.
You can't tell me right now you wouldn't fuck Cher or Madonna.
No, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying
I can tell
that's
you I wouldn't.
awesome.
I don't know. Madonna's looking a little rough.
Madonna
these
looks
days.
very rough.
Let's
These
do
days-
this.
It's still Madonna.
53-year-old.
It's Madonna,
woman.
but she's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, she.
Are you just
I would
looking up
not.
random
53-year-old women. Yeah. Let's see what we can get out of these 53-year-old women. This is the lady. If this is the lady pulling you into the bedroom, I don't care if she's married or not.
I still do. That's a deal breaker for me. That's my ick. People who are in a relationship.
Yeah.
The perfect age. If you're a woman, it's 53. Bullshit.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Everything's over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, some of these women, I'm not sure if I would go along with it, but some
Yeah, but
of
he's
them,
19. He doesn't know better.
he doesn't know any better. If I'm 19 and this lady like, come back to my room, my friend, I don't know what the hell. I'd be like, okay, let's go for it.
I mean, I'm going to learn some shit.
Jennifer Aniston, is this her at 53?
She is old.
If
She's
it's Jennifer
probably,
Aniston and
She
you're
is
19
cute.
years old,
she looks good. Although I heard that she is drinks a lot of coffee and smokes a lot of cigarettes and has consistent coffee breath and smoker's breath. But
Hell
she's
yeah.
cute.
who'd you hear
Hell
that
yeah.
from?
Hell yeah.
I don't know,
I'm gonna-
but I did hear it
Oh, man.
on some podcast. I don't remember which one.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with what, but I'm also like, why is he afraid of their daughters finding out? This is fucking fantasy. Like, why doesn't
God,
the daughter
it's
join
so
in?
hot.
And she's got 2 of them.
Oh my god.
Like that's
Yeah.
having a chicken sandwich with an egg on top. It's like the mom and the child at the same time, dude. Fucking hot.
Oh, you think he should do the mother and daughter.
Yeah.
And the daughter's like, I'm so lonely now that daddy's always away.
That's
That's the thing that you don't like.
No.
It's that there's a father in the situation. But what if he's a terrible asshole? What if he's like the Trinity killer
What
from
if he's a-
Dexter?
what
You
if
know, you
he's-
go over on Thanksgiving and he's like beating them. He treats them like shit. And they're just like,
Yeah.
I just want a gentle 19-year-old
Yeah, what if
man.
he's a member of ISIS?
Yeah.
to me, it's the fact.
Hey,
that
whoa,
they're
whoa, whoa,
married.
whoa, whoa. Hey, we got listeners here that love it. Hey, members of ISIS, you're welcome to listen to Working Crass Podcast.
Yeah.
We appreciate the follow.
I mean, for me, it's the point that the mother is still in the relationship with him. That's
Yeah.
what I have the problem with.
Yeah. Yeah, you just don't like cheating.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here at Working Crass Podcast, we adore cheating. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I just don't really see what the problem is. He's just sleeping with her.
Well, she's married.
No, I mean it's just like sleeping on a bed.
It's just like what
it says she gave him a blowjob that went into missionary position.
Kelsey, that's just what two coworkers. That's just what two coworkers do in one hotel.
I wasn't
room.
listening because this wasn't my chosen article.
Do you want to go through the other article? I will stay and we can go through it if it makes you feel happy.
I do want to go through it.
You do want to hear the "Am I the asshole for telling my son's girlfriend to break up with him"?
Yes.
All right. So we by the way, we came to a conclusion. Awesome that he slept with that girl, even though she's married. Kelsey agreed. All right. Next.
Joshua stamp of approval.
I give that one the old Tawny Roberts best anal scene.
Seal of approval.
Are those the awards? The big dicks?
Maybe.
Or is that called the Woodies?
That might be the Woodies. I don't know. What did she win? I know Tawny Roberts
Don't
won.
look this up. Don't look. We don't need
Why
to.
not?
We don't.
All right, I'll keep.
Not.
Hey, I'll let it for the listeners. You can go look it up. She won Best Anal. I don't remember what year. I think it was 2009. And she also bathed me, and we played with super soakers in the backyard. Okay.
Oh, I like this. She's a super soaker for you.
Okay, but listen, she always brought her boyfriend over, and then they would argue and fight and fight and fight and just scream at each other. She was like a teenager when she babysat me. She was underage when she babysat me, which was awesome. No, but. But her boyfriend would come over all the time, and they would fight and they would argue all the time. And then they were that kind of couple that they would ask me. They would be like, "Which one of the two of us would you rather take you to Chuck E. Cheese, me or him?" Would get me involved in the fights and arguments.
And then you would say, "Which one of you has won more adult film awards?"
No, she hadn't won any at that point. Although I'm sure that she was already begun her anal training.
Good Lord.
Young Padawan. Soon you will call me master. Spread your cheeks.
Oh man. But then I told my mom, I was like, she's bringing her boyfriend over all the time. They're fighting like crazy. My mom fired her. And then, you know what? She went on to have a very successful career. My 41, I'm sorry, this person who's writing this is a 41-year-old female. Her son, who is a 20-year-old male, has been in a relationship with his girlfriend, Lily, who's a 20-year-old female, for about 3 years now. I love my son, and I hate to say this, but he's not turned out to be a good person. He has very little work ethic, has no desire to get a job or go to college, and spends most of his time gaming or partying. Lily, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. She's very studious, has aspirations to be a doctor, is a very good swimmer, and is currently away at college. When my son and Lily first got together in high school, they were an excellent match. We loved having Lily over, and my son definitely took more care of himself. Since then, it's rapidly deteriorated. I know my son still loves Lily, but he never gives her the attention she deserves, and with her clear potential, I just feel she deserves better. When Lily came to visit a few days ago, she was visibly upset. When my son went to the store, I asked her if she was okay, and she told me she didn't know what to do and wondered why my son had such little ambition and was so lazy. I told her I didn't see it changing anytime soon, as that's my view given it's been ongoing for almost 2 years. When she asked what I would do in her situation, I told her to put herself first and what she wanted. Lily thanked me and said she'd think about things. Well, earlier today, my son comes downstairs in a rage, telling me that Lily had broken up with him via text. I asked him what she said, and apparently the message referred to discussions with your mom that had made her rethink the relationship. My son was livid that I'd gotten involved and said I'd overstepped boundaries. I told him I didn't advise Lily to leave him, just said she had to make her own choices and decide what was best for her. My son is now not talking to me, and my husband is annoyed, believing that having no Lily will make my son's rut last even longer. I also miss having Lily around. So, am I the asshole? Damn, these parents love Lily more than they love this kid. They're like, I don't want to lose Lily.
No, I don't think she's the asshole. I think this is tough love. I think this is tough love for her son to get him out, because if he's being a fucking bum and not doing anything, he's 20, still living at home, has no goals or anything. She's away at college, says nothing about him and his prospects. All he does is play video games, doesn't do anything. You need to be fucking smacked around when you're young to be able to learn and grow.
Yeah, but I don't think you get in tell your son's girlfriend to break up with him.
Did she say that?
But she didn't say that.
Well,
She didn't say
she it literally says it in the title.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, while she probably did not use those words, literally, she did essentially kind of give that advice.
Well, if I'm in love with somebody and their love with me doesn't last beyond somebody saying you should break up with him, they weren't in love with me.
I think Lily needed to come to that on her own conclusion, or Lily's mom needed to convince her to do that. I just think like
now Lily asked the mom though. Lily goes, "Hey, I'm having some second thoughts. This guy is not getting better. He's lazy as shit. He has no ambition. I don't see this going anywhere. What do you think?"
And then
what should the mom say?
The mom took Lily's hand and led her to the bedroom and
Mm-hmm.
started giving her
suck on my
kisses.
nipples.
And then she touched Byron's rock.
I do think it is kind of an asshole thing to do, but I also I don't know. I do kind of get it.
But what else could she say in this situation?
I don't know.
That might not end up like this. Because part of me is like, I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in her situation. I have a son. He's doing nothing. He's like fucking not getting a job, not like, and I'm frustrated with that, right? Because I'm like, I want the best for my son. Then he has this great girlfriend or whatever. She comes over and she confesses to me, "Hey, I also see what you see. He's lazy. He has no ambition, and this isn't going anywhere." I have two options. I either go, well, I lie and go, he's going to get better, or like you should, maybe, I don't know. Part of me is like, maybe she should have said, well, we should all have a talk with him.
Yeah.
Or you could fuck her.
Me as the dad of the son, and it's I should fuck my son's girlfriend. You know what?
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I like this idea a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know.
The girlfriend does have you're kind of going back on your principles here, because the girlfriend is dating someone. That would be cheating.
And the dad is married.
Well, I'm just going to say this. If you were going to buy a new car for your child, wouldn't you test drive it?
I do want to feel how tight my son's girlfriend's pussy is. That's what you're saying, right?
You said those words out of your mouth, Kelsey.
Yeah, that's
we
what
all
you said.
heard you. Like,
I was just reiterating your point.
Yeah,
we all thought
we can all tell the relationship's already over.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to gape their son's girlfriend's asshole?
God, why would you say that, Kelsey?
Kelsey, calm down.
That's really disgusting. Don't be saying these things on our podcast.
I just believe in my truth.
My son isn't allowed to have a girlfriend unless she's the 2008 winner of the best anal scene.
2009.
I'm sorry. Whoops. No, I don't want him to date my former babysitter.
I just don't understand how she like texted him the breakup.
The girl texted the boy.
Lily? Yeah,
Lily
Lily.
texted.
But like how?
You want to know what the breakup text was specifically?
It's
No,
like,
I just don't understand how she could do it.
how? What do you?
That's the point? Is that she broke up via text?
Like how did Lily do that?
How did she? She wrote the words, "I'm breaking up with you,"
With no arms?
with no arms. What does that mean?
She's a Lily.
What?
I think Byron's
Explain
trying to make
this.
a joke.
Wait, I know he is, but I don't get it. I'm trying to understand. I want to laugh at this.
She's on a lake.
Lily, is there a thing with a lily of the lake who has no arms?
She's a lily pad.
A lily pad. Oh, you think she's a lily pad?
Yeah.
Man, how is anyone supposed to get that?
I thought it was a lot more obvious.
Lily pad.
I was reaching because I wanted to do another one and get another shot.
I'm going to explain who the asshole in this situation is. And it's going to be pretty unexpected. I would say the asshole is definitely Byron for having made us read this story and then tell that joke.
Yeah, you made us read this.
No.
And I'm using the term joke very lightly.
Yeah, you also invited me over here and then didn't give me a ride.
I didn't do the inviting.
He didn't invite you, and we didn't either. What the hell are you doing here?
Hi, my name's Kelsey.
All right, guys. Let's wrap this one up. But before we wrap it up, there's something that we do every single episode, and that is we say what we learned in this episode. This is an educational podcast, and it's for children. So we want to let people know what they learned. Kelsey, what did you learn today?
I'm going to say that I learned that Byron attempts to be funny, I think, too often. And then he judges people on doing things that are better for other people as opposed to their own interests. So, fake Christian.
Wow, Jesus Christ.
I will also say I learned that Tammy Roberts. Tawny Roberts.
Tawny.
Is an award-winning actress, and that Lauren has big shoes to fill.
That's true.
With cum.
With cum. Oh, that's great. Byron, what did you learn?
I learned that Sarah was in a bear.
What?
Sarah was in a bear.
Who's Sarah?
Like Abraham Sarah.
Abraham Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a Bible story?
Well, yeah, because in the Bible, sometimes the grammar is a little mixed up, but Sarah was bear-in. She was in a bear.
Okay. Boo. Lauren, what'd you learn?
Boo.
I had to make it.
Boo on you.
I had to say it.
I learned that sometimes.
Wait, you didn't have to say it.
No, I had to. 'Cause I feel very unappreciated on this episode, I will say.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone's been really mean to me the whole time. In the last few episodes, everyone's been really mean to me. Most of all, Lauren.
No.
So I feel like we need to have an episode called Byron's Joy Day.
All right.
Where it's all about making me happy.
All right.
And everyone laughs at my jokes. And everyone is nice to me. And I get presents.
All right. We can have an episode where we all pretend. That's okay. Bye. All right, Lauren. What did you learn?
I learned that sometimes it's okay to.
That one was good. Okay. Lauren, your turn.
I learned that sometimes it's okay to veto Byron's ideas because sometimes they're just stinkers and it's okay. It's okay to say
Stop!
Yeah.
That's what a veto means. Good job, Byron.
You best not leave your shoes out.
I
because
learned.
you're going to come in them.
No. I don't know what I'm going to do in them.
I learned that sometimes you just got to give up and
just crawl into the bed with your coworker because you have no other options.
Sometimes you just you got to start an improv group at your church, or you got to climb into bed with your coworker. You just got to fucking say, you know what, fuck it all. What's it all worth anyway? It's pointless. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Love you all. We appreciate you being here. And leave us a comment. Tell us what you thought about Byron in this episode. Thanks for joining. We love you very much. And see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you.